Good Thursday morning, February the 25th. We are in day 8 of our journey with Jesus. I hope everybody had a great day yesterday and enjoyed the weather. It was awesome. Took the Budman for a walk. Uh, just fantastic. Today's going to be nice too. And good luck to everybody who is strapping the pads and helmets on to go out and play football tonight and cheerlead and dance and hopefully playing the band and all that good stuff. Today's devotion is centered on one of the most difficult uh, parts of the the Lent story, the lead up to the crucifixion. Jesus is alone in the Garden of Gethsemane. So let's get started. Today's reading is just one verse, yet those few words are heavy with emotion. We see Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane crying out to his Father. In the rawness of emotion, Jesus cries out, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me." He is doubled over in anguish. We see his humanity. He is about to face unbounded physical torture. But worse than that, he knew that he would experience an isolation like never before, when his Father would turn his face away as Jesus took on the depravity and the sin of the world. And then he continues to pray, "Yet not as I will, but as you will." This was a moment when the human and the divine came together in one of the greatest acts of love and obedience. He who knew no sin would become sin so that we might be in the righteousness of God, unbounded grace and undeserved favor. No condemnation now I dread, Jesus and all in him is mine. What's our response to Jesus' obedience to God the Father? What's our response to his anguish in the garden? Do we fall on our knees in a worship before God who knew the torturous journey that lay ahead and yet determined to follow through? Do we allow it to become a personal revelation for my life? I've always heard that marathon runners, when they're building up to running a marathon and they're training, they never run the marathon before they actually do it because something about your mental, you realize how difficult it is. And you do it once, as for practice, you don't really want to do it again. And think about all the things that you have to deal with that you know are hard. If you knew how they went, you don't really want to do them. So imagine that as God. He knew how many times he was going to be beaten. He knew exactly what was getting ready to happen to him, and he knew he would have no help. This is a guy who could snap his fingers, call on the realms of angels, and remedy any situation. But he went through it for us. Let's see, Matthew 26, verse 39. Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." And also in this part of the Bible, it describes how the physical strain that was on Jesus, that he actually weeped blood. And that's a physiological condition when stress is just beyond what you can bear. You actually cry blood. And that's a real thing. It happened to Jesus right there. And it shows the humanity. And he was like us. Let us close in prayer. Sweet Jesus, I cannot begin to understand that moment in the Garden of Gethsemane. You were alone in the dark of the night, but it was nothing compared to the isolation you would experience on the cross. Yet you chose to walk in obedience. You demonstrated your love for a hurting humanity by simply saying, "But as you will." I bow down in awe. Amen. Folks, Jesus knew what he was about to undertake and what was going to be done to him, and he did it anyway for us. You can be mad at somebody, you can be angry, you can be disappointed in somebody, but Jesus knew what was going to happen to him, and yet he forgave those who did this to him. If he can do that, we should be able to forgive anybody for anything. I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. See you back here tomorrow for day 9. Take care.